This is Ruolin from Xinhua. I'm now here at the venue of COP16 to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, where nearly 200 parties and international experts and civil society groups gathering to call for urgent action to combat against desertification. But here is the question: how is this conference relevant, and how does desertification impact our lives? So let's go and check this out.
The process of desertification transforms once productive land into desert-like landscapes. While the impact is most visible in the form of dust and sandstorms, it also leads to biodiversity loss, rising unemployment, ecological displacement, and even conflict. According to the UNCCD, land provides nearly 95% of the world's food, yet up to 40% of global land is now degraded, directly affecting 3.2 billion people. Additionally, droughts have become more frequent and intense. By 2050, 3/4 of the world's population could be affected by drought. To get everything more clear, we're lucky to have Barron join us and tell us how desertification is relevant to everyone.
Well, let's start just at the basic of it. The fundamental aspect of desertification is called land degradation, which means we lose productivity in our land, in our soils, and we lose the biodiversity that's related to that land. And when that happens, everything suffers. We have less food, we have less water, and that's a challenge for survival, basically, not just humans, but also nature. China is highly relevant. Big part of China is very dry. Why do we separate it? Why do we put it in two categories? Because if you degrade land without much water in the system, the vulnerability is much higher. It's much harder to fix that problem. Everything that we consume, a very large percentage of it, is tied to the land. The clothes that I'm wearing are tied to cotton growing somewhere. The coffee you drank this morning was grown somewhere. And if it wasn't sustainable, then we're contributing to that problem. So there's a knock-on effect. If we lose that land, obviously where it's damaged, it impacts people severely. So everything we do, if it's not sustainable, every part of the system can be harmed. But the last point is we have what we call thresholds. So you can move along for a while and not notice the impact. But when you cross a threshold, then you're not going to turn back. And so the whole planet is at risk because we're crossing these no-return boundaries. Many of them are tied to land. So if we can get land to be more healthy, we can pull back from the precipice at the brink and then be in a much better position economically and otherwise. Yes, we have to invest to do it, but the returns on that investment are very high.